Welcome, everybody, to round 3 of Season 2 of the Atomic World Challenge. It's going to be a great day today at the VESPUCCI Beach GP. This race was created by KONIGVONFURZ. Today's race is, as always, is hosted by Sneaki Gyraffe, officiated by the most wanted street racers. And today I'm going to be your announcer, VIPPrimo. Today on the pole is going to be an exciting field. We have Sneaky on the pole with FS Zeus in second place. Everybody knows Zeus. He's got some good history in this race, and he's one of those people that constantly makes it worth your while to watch. As always, Bryce Hall, who has had some hiccups this season, started off in the first racing season with an inability to join after qualifying on the pole and doing an incredible showing prior. And another side note for Bryce is also that he's actually joined the team that puts together with Sneaky the race and puts together qualifying and does the tracks. So we're expecting to see a lot more exciting stuff from him. As always, RPM, our famous pro racer, has decided to grace our presence in GT with his Feltzer. RPM has always said that he wanted to compete in GT, has had not very good luck about staying in the GT class. That being said, he's been able, I think, find his niche right now and be able to get it going. As always, Ricky Bobby is one of our staple players here, represented with the Comet Retro. Juxry, as you can see, Juxry has made his triumphant return. Currently, Juxry is in the point standings as the leader in points. Last season, we really expected him to really throw out a season winner, and unfortunately had some bad displays at the end there that ended up putting him back in pro class, dropped him off some points, and handed the victory over to Patient Zero, Sue, who you see in sixth place there. So Patient Zero, again, one of our stalwart players, actually the champion right now, somebody we always like watching. And then, of course, Daddy Trump, who unfortunately got a gigantic handicap for the last race after running 3 seconds faster than par. He had to run a very slow race, and his car is severely detuned for this race. So as we start off today, let's go back over everybody so you can see him. There's RPM. There's his Feltzer. Here's Patient Zero, our current Atomic World Champion, defending title, and awesome Masacro. There's Ricky Bobby, really loving this Comet Retro, Comet Retro Custom. Juxury in his car, which is, everybody loves the Spectres, guys. So we're going to move over to Bryce as we start the race. And already we can tell this is going to be a heated battle up front. The LGRH8, one of the things a lot of guys we talked about for a while, and it has finally caught on, is that some of these guys really wanted to hit GT this time, because the GT is where all the points are, and the pro class was notably very, very low this time for what it was. And that's because a lot of the guys had figured out how to compete in that GT class. And because of that, they were able to have a lot more in the field and be able to make more points. So the thing that we suggested to them from the beginning was, don't run, if you want to run a certain car like the LG or another car that has better performance, is to detune it in a way that it gets you to the numbers that you wanted to get to. Look at this big three-way tie over here. Everybody moving through, just splitting Sneaky. Bryce getting left behind in the works. This is another chicane coming here. Let's see how they handle this real quick. Patient Zero dropped. Gonna go over to Sneaky real quick. So it looks like some sort of problem occurred right there. That's his. Looks like Patient Zero's car has had some troubles and is going to be, I don't know, that's kind of in the range of exploding. So this is something that happened in the last race that caused a lot of stir in here, and there's a rules call that's going to be involved in it. Is going to be that Patient Zero in the last race dropped, and his points did count, and his position caused him to win the race. And that's something that Bryce was not a big fan. We see Zeus off the track, crash on the corner here as we come out, leaving Sneaky all by his lonesome up here. Wow, we're having a big mess up front. So like I said, to get these guys to be able to run the way they ran, they had to detune their cars. And to do that, they were able to figure out where they were in the equation to get themselves into the big numbers. How did Juxtree get up in there? No, there's Juxtree. Is that Juxtree way off the pace, or? It's tough to tell. So they do detune their cars, and that allowed them to run into that GT class. So they got the par times what they needed to actually be able to race in the GT class, and it's worked out great. We have a gigantic field today, and we had a lot more people that were interested in doing it, or they were doing a good job with running with it. But again, timing issues with a lot of this stuff does happen. And for instance, Alien Gypsy, who is second in the points right now, is not here, and why is because, well, happy birthday to Alien Gypsy. So he's going to be working on not being able to remember his birthday, I'm pretty sure, so by drinking quite a bit. We'll see how that works out. Also, another person that didn't make it tonight, and actually it was so funny because Crimmins was really looking to find a way to put in a substitute for the race so that he could race in this race and have somebody else that would take his position and grab some points for him. But unfortunately, that isn't something that was in the rules, so we couldn't allow it. So here's Daddy Trump in second. I'm having a tough time keeping up with the field tonight. So as we see, the par time, by the way, for tonight was 151. We already see that Daddy Trump has already put his 151. He's was the one that got the gigantic handicap in the last race. Everybody else seems to be going in the 153 area, and we expect that kind of number to kind of stick a little bit as they figure their way around here. I'm going to go back to Daddy Trump here real quick. We're going to go back to Sneaky real quick. Where is... So we're seeing back with... Oh, there we go, Juxtree. I'm going to go back to Juxtree. It's one of those races where it's very tight racing, and when you have tight racing like this, that people are really trying to pull their speeds out, it's very tough to find out where you want to put your cameras at to see where things are going. So we see FS Zeus trying to make a move on Sneaky. See Daddy Trump still up there, and with Bryce. Sneaky having some trouble as the corner. Zeus is trying to capitalize on it. Yeah, it looks like a big competition right there as they move together into the first turns. Croston's cross finish line. Daddy Trump has entered first. It's going to be tough to catch up when you have 4 different fields of where everybody wants to be at. Oh! He spins out the turns. He comes around going in for Daddy Trump. Daddy Trump's car is so much faster. And that's the other thing. So Daddy Trump already has a 3-second handicap. If he's able to break his handicap again, he's going to end up getting another cumulative point on his par time. So he has to continue to run slower and slower and slower until there would come a point when virtually it'd be difficult for him to even qualify in the GT series. We're psyching a lot through this to get it. keep our eye on Bryce right now as he moves up on Daddy Trump here. Looks like it's going to be a tight race there. He is Bryce moving back into first again. Daddy Trump trying to capitalize on the inside line, taking that a little tight. I don't know how he's going to do it. It looks like Bryce is kind of trying to block him up. We're going to move back to Ricky real quick. These guys are fighting it out, but it looks like he's holding that position for a second. And Ricky is moving in with RPM. There's that Felter. RPM's Felter looks amazing. So does Ricky's car for Comet. Let's move over to Juxury real quick, see how far he is. It's going to be tough. We're going to do a lot of rushing around here. I hope everybody can... Okay, so we can keep an eye on everybody. Sneaky in the inside as he comes around, trying to capitalize on that inside line. Comes back around. Sneaky moving to the inside. He's way far out. But can that? I don't know if that Lynx has got the power to push itself up there. Zeus moving into the position. Comes Sneaky. They got some distance. Zeus. I just don't know if Sneaky has the car to be able to take him in this. People are already making bets to see if and see the next battle up is the Daddy Trump. So we're gonna jump up there again real quick. It looks like some distance has occurred between these two. Trump's got some damage on his car, so he's having some issues, but it leaves some room up there for him. We're gonna jump right back to that Juxury race. That really is where the excitement's going on right now. Bryce is, to put it into context, I really was looking for Bryce to be one of those guys that's going to come up through the forefront and figure this out. He's got dedication to it. He has. At first, he started off with a lot of complaining, kind of wondering about how the rules were working. I think once he got the idea of how this PAR system worked and how everything went together, that he was able to capitalize on it and take advantage of this kind of where my edge is. And that really is a really good idea of how the PAR system works, is how far can you take it on the edge and be consistent with your laps, be consistent with your times, and keep your race clean. That's the beauty of these two is that if you're running slower than you possibly can run, you should, by nature, be able to run a lot cleaner around each of your laps and have, a more dominant race. Now, whether that is the way it's supposed to happen or not, really depends on how that racer is competing in that class. So we're going to stick here with the Zeus race. It looks like Juxury is moving ahead of Sneaky. Let's look at the lap times again. See what we have here. So with 151s, all Ricky, Bobby, and RPM both hitting a 151. Bryce with his best lap of 151. These two guys, Sneaky and Zeus, pulling the 153s. And so as people are moving up, these guys are getting consistent runs. There's Zeus capitalizing for Sneaky. Sneaky's having some difficulty keeping this Lynx on the ground. And that's a fully upgraded Lynx. Now he's gunning down Juxury. Way out in the edge there. Juxury is a lot smoother. See that Spectre, this is where cars that you wouldn't expect to be good actually play key roles, because when they're detuned or if they're max tuned for the speed that they have, they're able to implement more power. And one thing we've suggested with people is, hey, if you're going to take the engine turbo, you're going to do all those things and time them a little bit to get into those numbers, to keep those suspension, keep the spoilers, keep any of your dynamics the same, and you're going to see an improvement over your driving style. So let's see where, okay, Daddy Trump with the 151. They're going to be in the same kind of position here. Still pushing to that edge there. Sneaky right behind him, trying to make something happen. Sneaky's already complaining that he's having problems getting the links to cooperate with him. Got a fully upgraded links, and these other guys have detuned cars. I think the Spectre is actually 100%. So that is another tough car to be able to compete against. These Jester race cars are insanely fast. I mean, you see him using an Elegy. We were talking to him earlier today and asked Bryce, and Bryce is way down on what he has that car tuned as to be able to get the lap time consistent. And then we're seeing here that, I mean, if you guys can go ahead and take this race and you can race it yourselves, and notice that if you run it with the regular cars, you're going to see that you can get a lot better lap time than some of these guys are getting. So how do they get them that way, or get a car like an LGR to drive that slow? And you really, to drive yourself as hard as you can, you have to detune it. Bryce has got some damage on that car that's really playing a problem, havoc with his car right now. We're hearing over his comm that he's kind of getting a little squirrely with it, and the noise comes over the microphones with the oohs and the ahs and the whoa. So he's been able to tighten it up, but Daddy Trump has also been having the same problems. So whether that's going to be something that he can dial in. The Trump car definitely has the higher top speed, but it really is about how they're going to implement that power around the corners. So once he gets into that straight, he's got to come out of the line, go a little slow, and then power through, get all the speed he can down on the thing, down the straight there, and there's Juxtree and Zeus. And remember, too, that we don't see Patient here because Patient is lagged, but Patient is actually in his own race, racing his own race, and his time has to be submitted for it to count. And they're following that within the active rules. That's a rules called the Sneaky made that undoubtedly will change for Season 3, and we're hoping that these lag problems are going to stop, and it's something that we're probably going to bring up at the end of the race to determine why this is happening, and if it's going to continue to happen, you know, Patient's probably going to have to back out or do something that's going to keep him from doing it. So here we have the Zeus race with. There's times when one car has a better line. Oh, Zeus is taking that outside line, not going to pass him on the outside there. But he is going to pass him on the outside. What a strong move. Wow, what a way to capitalize around a corner. Pulling it, and Daddy Trump has pulled back on his time because he doesn't want to breach a par time because he's hurting so bad. And there's the 151. Once again, it's a give and take because he has to be able to catch up with Bryce, who's right on that edge. One thing that we discussed, you're going to hear this a lot, is do you take a hit in the handicap side to be able to beat somebody who's running so close up to the edge? And these are, and Bryce, you can hear Bryce on the mic trying to help Daddy Trump get there. And that's the thing is it's no matter how much he tells him, it's going to be so tough to be able to say, okay, I want to get this. Because Daddy Trump has already got 3 seconds of handicap lap, a lap time that he has to overcome. So to beat somebody who's being consistent here, like Bryce, he's got to run a little bit faster and risk the idea of losing another second of handicap time. And that time, again, we were saying earlier, is cumulative. So if he continues to get cumulative time, it'll go from 3 to 4, and that 3 is tough to overcome already. And he's running right up here in this one, you know, was the 151 time. See what I'm saying? And now it's all he's got to do is get ahead of him, and once he gets ahead of him, he can hold it in. And and rein that time and get closer to that edge without going over. Very Price is Right. So you can see there he kind of juked his car to get his time in, and there he's sliding around. Now we have some distance there. We're going to jump right back to the Zeus battle, which is just it's getting intense back here. There he goes again. Juxury pulling in for the Zeus. We're already at another time change here. Oh, and I heard it. Zeus has already pushed ahead with that. So Zeus pushed too hard racing Juxury and is gone above his far, so he's going to have it. Now he's still. That's the beauty of this is that the running the risk of that and getting the best lap is when you get that 150, you're probably going to get your bonus points for being the fastest lap. So he'll get that best lap time, but now it's going to hurt him down the line. So if somebody else is getting a bad lap, so does Zeus keep pushing, get the 2 extra points, and keep pushing on that 150 line now, and take on Juxury the way he can? And there he is, taking him on the outside again. That Jester is fast. And now he's got that. I mean, down the road, those points are going to. How's that going to affect his points in this race? With 7, we have actually 8 racers in the competition today. Their time points are going to be times 8. As you can see, this is the beauty of the par time, is because everybody is in that 151 range. Let's go back up to Daddy Trump. It looks like they're doing battle again. Well, it looks like he's got some distance on him now. So we're going to go down to Sneaki, check out Sneaki. The one thing about part-time too is you kind of feel this like maximum rubber band stretching. So as you start losing positions or don't run consistently throughout the race, you start seeing things pull it back. And now he has so much time. Here's somebody who's in pole who's now running in a bad place because he's not been able to run consistent laps, or he's been fighting. Here he is with RPM in the Feltzer. He's got a lot of time to make up. And that Feltzer's going to be tough to run against. So let's check out Juxury and the Zeus fight. Juxury's hurting. I know Juxury is like biting at the bit right now, thinking, how do I make this happen? How do I get this guy rolled down without losing that new time that he has to compete with? Nope, Trump's doing good. So Trump still has a 151, so he's good for time still, I think. That's it. It's these guys are. So right now, the only person that's broke par time is Zeus, unless Patient has, and he's into another. Oh, and he's saying that Patient Zero has as well. Patient's hurting. He's already had a cumulative breach of par time, and now he's going to take another one back. So at this point, all we're really, it's the field has put itself in a position of where it wants to be, and all we're looking for is when is that last lap. Gyraffe moving around the inside line here. Pushing into the corner. Spectre Custom, one of the fan favorite cars. I want to thank all those guys that are watching us on YouTube that have given us input on these cars and said how much you have loved certain cars. And that's it. So we're gonna move up here. So we got Daddy Trump. I'm gonna move right up to Daddy Trump here. We're coming up on the end. Daddy Trump has already stated he's wondering about breaking the par time to get some sort of movement, but that's a lot of seconds that he has to move ahead to get up there. Bryce has run a solid race, has maximized his ability to get his car on the edge of the competition. The top, by the way, it was actually kind of the most distance we had. The first 4 or 5 people. Yep, RPM has dropped his as well. We just got that over it. Bryce has taken his car to the edge and been able to compete on that edge. And maximize his time over and over again every laps. I mean, you can see from these guys are doing 150s and 151s. Daddy's moved up ahead. Trump takes out, wow. At least he stopped for him. He literally just banged him like on purpose. That was a devastating revenge hit is what that was. Wow. Full speed hit. Can't even. I just got on the mic and just said that to everybody. That was incredible. I can't believe now it's Bryce's. There it is. There's the finish. Bryce takes the finish. There goes Daddy Trump. Here comes RPM. Gyraffe finished 3rd. Zeus finished 4th. Can't look at that. There's RPM rolling over the finish line. It looks like maybe he. There you go. 150, the best lap from Zeus. So Zeus may have taken that low lap, but he did take it as the top lap. He'll take a small hit for that. Amazing race. Definitely congratulations for Bryce Hall dominating tonight. Daddy Trump in 2nd, Gyraffe in 3rd. That's gonna add to his victories already. Gyraffe, Zeus, RPM, Sneaky, and Ricky Bobby. You guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye.